Hi beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. One thing I cannot stand and will not tolerate is a bully. And it seems as though without a crystal ball cannot stay out of drama or causing drama. So let's talk about it. Just a little bit of a background. On Thursday night, after allegedly finding out that Gypsy met with Kim Kardashian, without a crystal ball got pissed and her feelings were hurt because she was left in the dark about the meeting and withdrew her support of Gypsy and her family and threw a tantrum by making a post and spilled a lot of tea. The next morning she doubled down on her withdrawal of support for Gypsy and her family. Yet that didn't seem to last long because within a few hours she made a post of how she was on the phone with Gypsy for nearly 3 hours and basically there's no ill feelings. And now Without a Crystal Ball is back on the Gypsy Rose train and has taken the crown of being the head bitch in charge. I will leave a link to those videos down in the description box if you guys would like to catch up on it. Without a Crystal Ball has now reactivated her TikTok after I think over a year to do some dirty work for Kristy and Gypsy Rose. And she made a post on TikTok trying to discredit Nina Flawless, which I will show you in a minute. Just a day ago, she was in Nina Flawless's DMs wanting to help and clarify information because in my opinion, she wanted revenge on Gypsy and Kristy for keeping her at arm's length or in the dark in regard to Gypsy hooking up with Kim K. So after they put her in check and pacified her, she is now going after Nina by trying to, as I said before, discredit her. Now, a little bit of backstory first. A few days ago, Nina Flawless made a video explaining how Ken Urker is shady, and I will leave that video in the description box. I don't want to take her views from her. It's not a long video. So Without a Crystal Ball decided to post this TikTok to basically, as she said, debunk Nina Flawless and clear Kristy Blanchard.
Actually, a little bit more than a little bit up. Do y'all remember the text messages from 2 days ago that I posted about Ken Urker? If you don't remember, let me refresh your memory. These messages are allegedly between Ken Urker and KRUSTY.
Here's a copy of the actual text messages between Ken and Fancy Maselli. I got these actually from Ken, so it doesn't show that it's Kristy, and this is the exact exchange from his phone. This exchange took place between Fancy and Ken back in June of 2019. Fancy was apparently super concerned about Nick because he was sending threatening emails to his then girlfriend named Dawn. The messages that are being blamed on Kristy were actually sent by Fancy, and she was admitting to having inside information from a source that was communicating with Nick, which somehow proved that he was extremely scary, and she was calling him scary sick. And she felt like she wanted to vomit. She wanted to send over everything to the DA because she never wanted him to be free again. Kristy has no role in this whatsoever, and Fancy, for whatever reason, is offering this free willingly to Ken, who didn't necessarily even ask for it. On top of that, it's not Ken that's interfering. It's not Kristy that's interfering. Apparently, it's Fancy who thinks he was dangerous. She also mocks the people that want Nick to be free and seemingly suggests that they are effers who are trying to create some freedom movement. She calls them morons. She mocks a trailer that they make for him and his freedom fighters. And she promises that they're going to go public with all of these emails because Dawn wanted to expose Nick for everything. And apparently Dawn at the time had reached out to Gypsy, who she apparently apologized to for not believing her about Nick. Kristy wasn't involved in any of this, but if you're going to put something out, at least verify the source. Check with the person involved. Reach out to Ken and see if he has any verification of this conversation. It wasn't Kristy. It wasn't Gypsy. It was none other than Fancy Maselli, who's now on the opposite side, who once called Nick a sociopath and scary and should never be free, who says that he has been wrongly incarcerated and needs to come out and he was manipulated. So was he a sociopath or was he manipulative? Was he a sociopath then and he's not a sociopath now, Fancy? I don't know. But I just wanted to share these receipts from the source.
How are you not embarrassed about yourself, Katie Joy? Yeah, you are trying to discredit someone on behalf of Kristy and Gypsy after denouncing them. She did say, allegedly, and you seem to have gotten those messages from Ken all of a sudden. Is it not a coincidence that he gave you those text messages that he still had after 5 years to actually discredit Flawless Nina on behalf of Kristy, to basically clear Kristy's name? It's also known that Ken actually despised Fancy. Weird. Now, if you look at Katie Joy's receipts, and then you look at Flawless Nina's receipts. In Flawless Nina's receipts, that is obviously coming from Ken. And when you look at Katie Joy's receipts, that seems to be coming from Fancy. So, which is the correct receipts? Because I wouldn't believe Katie Joy, because she did admit that she knows how to make fake screenshots. And in a situation like this now, after she denounced them to back to being for them, I'll just leave that there. You questioning Fancy about how she really feels about Nick now. One can change your mind, can't they, Katie Joy? Like you did, how you originally felt about Nick, because you said he was manipulated and he didn't belong in prison because he was autistic like your son. And your son can also be manipulated into murder because, as you said, he's autistic.
She murdered her mom.
I think they played up on Nick's autism and made him look way more innocent than he is.
He is absolutely developmentally delayed and should not be in prison.
Not as much as people think.
Not as much as people think.
That is really the specialists have all contradicted themselves. When you read emails that he does, he is intelligent.
But that doesn't, you can be intelligent and autistic.
Yeah, no, autistic, absolutely. No, not the same, no.
But he's not developmentally slow in any means, no.
But autism is considered a developmental disability.
It's considered a neurological disability.
No, it affects all aspects of development. My son is autistic, so.
Do you believe that your son could be manipulated into murdering somebody?
Yes.
Now let's take a look at the comments left under this post that Without a Crystal Ball made, trying to discredit Flawless Nina. And lo and behold, here you have Gypsy Rose. I'm glad Ken found those messages so the real thing can be shown. To which Without a Crystal Ball says, me too, Gypsy. It's strange that even with the proof, Nina and others will find a reason to excuse Fancy's about-face and outright lies. To which Gypsy responds, that's sad. So blinded by dislike for me, they would ignore facts. Without a Crystal Ball again responds, it is sad. I think it's sad to ignore that Fancy called Nick a sociopath and believed he was dangerous. But what do I know? To these people, you were never abused, even though your abuse is indisputable, and the state agreed the abuse was a mitigating factor for your sentence. You also have a very low probability of reoffending, but they don't like facts. And then you have Kristy Blanchard at Without a Crystal Ball, laughing emoji, to which Without a Crystal Ball responds, bullseye. What the fuck? Like I said in my previous video, Katie Joy is absolutely pathetic, an embarrassment, and a lowlife to have thrown a tantrum the way she did just to get the attention of Gypsy and Kristy. And when she finally got their attention and she was put back in check and pacified, to now going after people trying to discredit them to get brownie points, that is despicable. And she holds herself in such high regard as being a journalist. Katie Joy is a joke. Katie Joy is no different than all the other idiots that Gypsy and Kristy have on their so-called, and I'm doing air quotes, payroll. And now here you have Without a Crystal Ball on social media, bullying people like Flawless Nina, Fancy Maselli, and Kate Marie, who was a real victim and survivor of Munchausen Syndrome by Proxy. Nina Flawless made a short on her YouTube this evening explaining how Without a Crystal Ball has bullied Kate off her TikTok account. So Kate wasn't alive with Nina Flawless this evening, telling her story of her and her sister's life growing up and being victims of their mother with Munchausen Syndrome by Proxy. And allegedly she found out that Without a Crystal Ball, Gypsy and Kristy took her post. So Kate has now deactivated her TikTok platform. Check this out. Now, I'm not going to show you the video in its entirety because Nina does get emotional in this, but I will read out to you the text messages that Kate did send to her.
Kate and I were on live probably for about an hour and a half. Kate shared her story and her sister's story on, being victims of, her mom having Munchausen by Proxy. During that live, apparently, Katie Joy, Gypsy, and Kristy were on this live, or one of them, or all. And the exact same story that Kate told. Katie went on her page and regurgitated it verbatim. And Kate made a post kind of speaking about it, but it was very discouraging to her. I'm going to show you the text messages that she sent me.
I will leave this video also from Flawless Nina down in the description box so you guys can go watch it in its entirety. So she says, "Hey girl, I'm taking a break from TikTok. I can't do this. I can't go to war with Katie Joy. I have to remove that video before my life is hell against this crazy woman. It's not worth it. I'm so upset right now, I'm boiling." To which Nina responds, "Okay, I get it. Just private it." Kate says, "I did." Nina says, "For you only, okay?" So Kate responds, "I posted out of emotion. I have the receipts, but mentally I'm exhausted and I'm not prepared to battle this crazy girl. I hate confrontation. This isn't why my TikTok was ever created. I now don't even want to keep sharing how my sister and I survived because of behavior like this." To which Nina responds, "I understand. I do." She says, "My account is deactivated. That pushed me to a point I can't go down that road. I'm just going to take a break. I appreciate your support. Thank you so much for having me in your live and a place to share my story. You can share these messages if you want. You don't have to, but I know your messages and comments will flood with what happened. I feel like I'm giving Gypsy exactly what she wants, but I have to do this for me. My story or my sister's story does not belong to her. To bully real survivors off the app is a level so low I can't describe. Real survivors invalidate her, so our details become hers, and there can't be more than one." So Nina responds and says, "I was going to ask you, but I didn't want to be insensitive." She says, "It's okay. I know the love and support was there. So I know many will ask you. I have triggers, and this is something that I know I can't handle right now. What I just saw hurt too much. This is bullshit. Who the fuck is Katie Joy to bully a survivor? She is the one that reports on cults and claims that she is there to help survivors. And now, yes, she is bullying a survivor and bullied the survivor to a point of removing her TikTok, where she was advocating for herself and for other victims. Kate does not deserve this. She has survived the worst, and to be put through this pain and strife by someone like Without a Crystal Ball that is kissing the ass of Gypsy and Kristy. This is bullshit. Is she this desperate to be in good graces with Kristy Blanchard and Gypsy Rose? Remember, she, Without a Crystal Ball, denounced Gypsy. She called her a murderer. She said that she is doing all this for fame and money and that she couldn't stay around any longer and support all that. To now bullying real victims for speaking their truth and exposing Gypsy for stealing her story and calling out Gypsy for being fake. This is absolutely not okay. This is far from okay. And as you saw, Gypsy and Kristy are in Without a Crystal Ball's comments cheering her on. Didn't Gypsy say she's taking a break from social media? But she is still on the sidelines. cheering the bully on, including Kristy. Gypsy, Kristy, and Katie Joy need to check themselves. And shame on Katie Joy. Shame on you, Katie Joy. You should be so ashamed of yourself. You are such a coward, and all you're doing is showing your ass and how desperate you are for friends. I have never seen a grown woman be this desperate for attention, that one has to go to these lengths for acceptance. Katie Joy is a disgrace. And as far as Gypsy, you're just basically digging your own hole. You're not doing yourself any favors. And as for Kristy, you're supposed to be an example for Gypsy, not a sidekick. All you are, in my opinion, is replacement for the mother that she had taken out. Once again, this is all so unacceptable from all three of these bullies. Please show your love and support for Flawless Nina and Kate Marie in the comments. Kate, we see you. We love you and support you. I am so sorry that you are experiencing this and it's not right. They have no right to make you feel this way and bully you off your own platform. Please know that you are not alone. You have so many people out here that love and support you. You have overcome the worst and have blossomed into a beautiful, well-rounded role model for so many and given so many people hope by showing your strength and resilience and your fight. You are an honorable member of society. You take however much time you need to adjust that crown on your head. You are valuable, you're well respected, and your worth is not defined by these bullies like Gypsy, Kristy, and Without a Crystal Ball, and whoever else. Once again, Kate, we appreciate you. Your tenacity, your strength, your resilience, and your voice that you use to speak for the voiceless. We got you, Kate. We need to show Kate that she is worthy. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this. I appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time out of your busy life. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Please be safe out there. Be kind to one another. And don't forget, make good memories. Bye, guys.